Hi there guys, and welcome to another Train Sim 2019 video. Today we're doing, well, it's two things really. It's two things. I'm not going to bleat on about it, but around the first run of the Azumas, I don't really like using that term for them, the IETs on the East Coast Mainline, I also rolled over the 8,000 mark subscribers on YouTube, so thank you very, very much for all of you guys that have subscribed and been over to the website and subscribed, or Facebook and Twitch and all of that. So it means absolutely massive to me, and thank you very, very, very much. I really, really, really do appreciate it. I'm not going to bleat on about it. There'll be an 8,000 sub special video, big one. A couple of people want an extra shed tour and a few other things, so I'm more than happy to do those when I get a chance. In fact, I might get the shed tour done today. Let's see if I can clean it up in time. There's a lot of videos to get done. So this is 1 Delta 11. This is the run from from Doncaster into Leeds on the Leeds lines, which is available over on AlanThompsonSim.com. So is the reskin. We're in Kev Butler's Azuma reskin. I'm going to unpause this because I think we've got a relative weight at Doncaster. The timings are pretty loose, train sim wise. I have done this scenario before. So we make async keys a couple of stopping points just because we're here for a minute or two. I tend to get into Wakefield a little bit early as well, so we might just speed those up a little bit as well. Oh, got 185, you can definitely hear that. My headlights are set up already, my doors are open. And yeah, the Azuma. During this we'll go through, I've got a bit of a manual read through as well for the Azumas as well. I'm going to keep calling them that. Because that's what people are referring to them as now. So Azuma means east in Japanese. I don't know. I was really hoping when LER took over they'd come up with something slightly better. It's just a bit... I've even had these referred to as Pearl Harbours, which we won't go into. I'm not sure I like the connotations that go with that, but that is what some people are already calling them. So yeah, I've got some IET. I'm going to go through the jargon buster section of the manual, because like most manufacturers, and they release a new like range of trains, if we can call it that, they like to rename things. Some names are the same as stuff from Sim 4, and there's some other new bits, and some are unique to the IETs as well. It's a bit like the difference between, I think Siemens call their train management system a human interface device, the screen itself, whereas most people would just call it a TMS screen. Siemens like to call it HID, but we'll get to that as we get going. So what have we got? 153 pulling out, and a beautiful Mark IV and 91 set pulling in. Now a lot of people are really worried that we're not going to see Mark IV sets and 91s. I don't know anything that's been completely confirmed, but I think there are a few sets being held on to. I'm not sure on the numbers. I've heard everything from 18 to 8 sets, 6 sets being kept for a little bit longer. But I think regardless, you're going to get a ride on a Mark IV, because they're going, well, again, these aren't confirmed. I think some of them are heading over to, is it Blackpool, Euston runs and a few other bits and pieces, but I think they're now using 90s instead of 91s. So I don't know what use the 91s have got, or what future the 91s have as of yet. There's lots of rumours, but I don't know anything set. I think doing that opens, no, C's fine. So I will miss seeing them as often as I do, but I'm also not massively put out by the IETs. I know a lot of people will go, oh, plastic rubbish. Trains have been made out of fiberglass for donkey's years. The whole plastic term, I know it doesn't necessarily mean they're actually made of plastic, but it's just about it being new, basically. And whilst I will miss seeing HSTs and 91 sets and all of that, things have to progress, unfortunately, sometimes. Now, for the passenger comfort wise, There's been a lot of talk about whether these have the same seats as the original, the ITs that are over in the Great Western region, and from what I can work out, it's yes. They just have a different seat fabric, which I suppose can help in comfort, I suppose, but I'm not convinced they're drastically different. There's a few funny things with some of the promo stuff with the Azuma stuff. They put up a post about, oh, look at our new legroom, and it was a priority seat. Which, yes, as much as we can all sit in a priority seat, they are a priority seat, so there are people that have more priority over them than others. So it's really hard to hold at a set speed. It's rapid. But I do quite like the front ends of them. Clouds doesn't like them. I quite like the front end on them. I also quite like the body lines. The bit I don't like about them, and again, this is aesthetically, this isn't about speed of use or station dwell times or anything like that. This is purely aesthetics. It's purely enthusiast wibble. But I don't like the sliding doors. I would rather have seen them be plug doors, sliding plug doors, just purely for the fact of aesthetics. I think the body line on the Azumas would be a lot nicer had those doors actually been flush with the body side. But realistically, apart from that, I think they're quite good-looking bits of kit. I became more of a fan of them when I was up in York for the last York meet. There was one in York Station, and I got to have a good look over it and all sorts of things. And that was really, actually, I really did quite like it. I did quite like it. There's some quite cool little features. They're quite interesting to look at when you're up close to them. Especially all the underframe stuff and everything is quite nice. Even though it's hidden, you can see quite a lot if you go and have a look. And the bogies, there's like bits on the bogies with big clamps and clips on them. There's something quite appealing about that for me. But yeah, they're not everybody's cup of tea. They're really not everybody's cup of tea. But nor are things like the 700 or any of that jazz. So we've just got to go with the times, haven't we, really? Okay, Jargon Buster. Let's look at some of these because I love it. Find the page, a lot of timetables. So just a heads up, there's lots of head code changes since the new timetables have come in. So you've got Monday to Fridays, you've got 1 Alpha 19, 1 Bravo 82, 1 Bravo 83, 1 Bravo 84, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 November 1, 7, it's King's Cross, Newcastle, all of that. The Saturday ones, the Sunday ones. So there's a lot in there that is that have changed, actually. But that'll be on real-time trains as of now, I would think, pretty much. Scroll through the 1,000,001 timetables. And we get to the Azuma Jargon Buster. So, like I was saying, there's lots of different ways that train manufacturers say things, and then there's some things that aren't, that are just normal, like we all know anyway. So first of all, we've got AC bus line, which of course is what it says on the tin. It's a cable running the length of the unit to supply AC alternating current power. Then you've got AdBlue, so those of you that are in the haulage business or have a modern diesel car will know about AdBlue. It's a diesel exhaust fluid stored in a separate tank from the diesel that reduces the amount of harmful emissions. I think, is it urea? I think it was urea they actually use in that, isn't it? Or some variant of. AED, this one, any of you that are remotely in the public sector will probably know all about these. There's even these in Tesco, some village halls have them. That's an automated external defibrillator. What this is basically a defib, you know, the clear, right? But it's an automated version. It means that well, pretty much anybody can use an AED. There is specific training out there, but in an emergency, the AEDs themselves generally talk them through, depending on what model you've got. They generally talk you through how to apply the pads, where to apply them, standing clear, counting down. So they do the monitoring. It's not as good as, say, like a ECG or anything like that, but it can find rhythms and see if it's a shockable rhythm and that sort of thing. But that's nice that they're on trains. I think they already have been for a while on a few trains, but it's nice to know that your life might be saved by a bit of equipment that's put on a train, which is nice. Then there's the APCO, the APCO, which is automatic power changeover, an intuitive system that allows the train to swap between diesel mode and electric mode when needed. Of course, they call this jargon. They are right. Some of this is quite corporate. Got BEC, which is body end cupboard. BIL, which is body side indicator light. Bi-mode, which a unit main traction power can be supplied by pantograph or underfloor diesel engines. Pretty standard on that one. Catering level 1, the kitchen. Catering level 3, cafe bar. Catering level 4, trolley area and urn exchange. Don't know what happened to 2, but it's there. CET, of course, that's controlled emission toilets. These have been kicking around for a long time. Not all stock in the UK is CET compliant yet. There are still the Mark IIIs, which these will be replacing. Still discharge onto the tracks, and yes, that means that they actually put your effluent onto the track. Lots of people that I talk to that aren't into the railways think that they've been gone for years, and that doesn't happen. Oh, it still does on lots and lots of units and loco and stock. So the Class 800/1 is a 9-car train that can fully operate in diesel or electric power. The Class 800/2 is a 5-car train that can operate in diesel or electric power. Class 801/1 is a 5-car train that operates only in electric mode. Class 801/2 is a 9-car train that only operates in electric mode. Then you have a composite coach, which is a coach containing both first and standard class accommodation. Again, something that's been kicking about, in a term that's been kicking about for years. Data logger monitors the status of certain equipment on board and has the functionality to highlight any issues that may arise during the journey. DGOD, which is driver guard operation, which means it's the driver that's in control of the doors in that mode. Then you've got DGOG, which is driver guard operation guard, which means the guard is in charge of the operation of the doors. Then you've got DOTE and DOTEL, so DOTE and DOTEL, defective on-train equipment or defective on-train equipment list. You've then got DPTF, which is driving pantograph trailer first, DPTS, which is driving pantograph trailer second. Dual mode. So this I thought was quite clever, and I didn't know this was actually possible, but it's quite nice that it's able to. I mean, operational flexibility, this must be really cool. It's when 2 units are coupled up, one can be in electric and one can be in diesel. So you might have a pantograph fault on one train and the other train can just come pick it up, and the one with the pantograph fault can run on diesel and the vice versa. I know it would just drive itself, but I'm sure it opens up some flexibility somewhere. Duplex gauge, they've been kicking about for years, we've got one there. Then you've got the EAD, which is an emergency access device. Then you've got EBS, which is the emergency bypass switch, or emergency brake supply, which we already have. EBS is a term that's been around for a long time. Then you've got EED, which is your emergency egress device, which again, that's one that's been around for a while. So I'm not quite sure what the EAD and the EED, what the difference is between the access and egress devices. Maybe one's coming in and one's going out. Then you've got FFCCTV, which of course is forward-facing closed-circuit television. Then you've got FTR, so this is the fitness to run certificate that's issued by Hitachi. GSMR, we've got that. And then you've got GU, which is generating unit, which by the sounds of things they call the underfloor diesel engines. You've then got this one, which I like, HFMT, which is Hitachi Fleet Monitoring Tool. This is a device that allows the real-time status of vehicle systems and allows live transmission to the passenger information screens and automated announcements. It's pretty cool. Here's a little Americanism that I haven't heard of used on trains in the UK yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure some places probably have. Some trains maybe have. This is called hotel power. So this is a minimum train service level. So what minimum train service levels mean is it is the minimum working equipment that a train can run in service with. So hotel power, a minimum train service level, is maintained to save power, usually in a failed unit. It controls the lighting, HVAC systems and toilets, but doesn't supply traction. So HVAC is heating, ventilation and air conditioning. and of course it does the toilet. So what that basically means is if a unit failed, or you were stuck somewhere for ages, no overhead line power or access to diesel power, there is a system there that can keep you going until you're either off the train. In the early days of GNER, and well, even nowadays, to be fair, they're a lot better than they used to be. The static inverters on Mark IV coaches used to fail pretty regularly, and you'd quite often get a very, very, very hot Mark IV carriage. But hopefully with the Azumas, that might be something that could be a thing of the past. I don't know. Wait and see. Manual door selection. So this is different to SDO. It's a function which lets the driver select which doors will be unlocked. This actually overrides the SDO. Okay, it overrides SDO. Then you've got MCB, main circuit breaker, MEC, which is main engine composite. Then you have MEF, motor engine first. Then you have MES, motor engine standard. And then you have an MFA. I like this term. It's a good term. Major fault alarm. Let's hope we don't hear about many of those in service with these. Then you've got the MOM equipment storage, which is equipment kept in a cab for network rail mobile operations managers. Nose cone is what it is. Section of the way they write this is quite nice. The section at both ends of the unit that reduces aerodynamic drag. It also houses the coupling device to attach to another unit. Then it has the PANCAM, and it actually is PANCAM, one word. Pantograph camera. Then you've got PAU, which of course is your passenger alarm unit. PIS, which is your passenger information system. And then you've got SAP, System Application and Products, the safety management system used by Hitachi. Yeah, we can keep it minimum probably to get in. I think we might actually be held just outside Wakefield Westgate. Yeah, we'll be held just outside. SDO, selected door operation, allows the unit to open doors on specific coaches. SST, this was good, not the thrust SST, which was the, I don't know, does it still hold the world record of the fastest land speed record? I'm not sure. SST stands for Space Saver Toilet. Cool. Space Saver Toilet. I like that. TMS, Train Management System. TPS, Trailer Power Standard. Train Door Control. Hands over the train door control from the driver to the onboard competent person. Notice what word is missing out of that bit. It's the word guard. What have we got? Yellow here, I'm hoping. There will be a train in Wakefield, so if we take it in a bit slowly, because we are literally 2 minutes 20 early. Trolley bay, chilled catering module units where the carts are placed. Trailer standard, TS. And then you've got UAT, which is a universal access toilet. So that's the jargon for the IETs. In this document is something quite funny, though. I don't know if it's funny. It refers to something called a SPA, which is a signal passed at red, not a SPAD. So I don't know if that's just LNER's terminology or that's a new terminology for SPAD. We're now to call them SPAs, I don't know. If any of you guys are in the industry, I would like to know that. So yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good. I'll do more when we get something a bit better for the 800 IETs. I'll do a further manual read through. Some of the other changes I've noticed is that, of course, in the LNER ones, this speedo isn't here. This ATP speedo isn't actually in there, and it's a plug socket, from what I've seen, which I think was quite cool. So I'm guessing they're using here, which is, I don't know what they call. I haven't read through the manual enough to know what they're actually calling that screen yet. ERTMS and stuff can be done through it, I think, as well. It's like an ERTMS screen, like we already have. But I don't know if they're calling it an ERTMS screen, or Hitachi have got some sort of fancy name for it. ERTMS, for those of you who don't know, is European Rail Traffic Management System. It's means you don't really have to worry about it's a modern way of signalling. It's moving block signalling, from what I can understand. I may be wrong. Of course, these LNR posts won't line up. Look at that, even a proper stop. And we're still in 2 minutes early. I will async some of this, just so we're not sitting about for too long. And we can admire the texturing on here. This has actually been updated. This was a very quick addition, was the car park that's here. And considering how quickly it was done, those boys have done well with it. Oh, super speed pacer. Slow that down, so that doesn't come running past us at 1 billion miles an hour. People will get funny ideas. I'd really like to see the 142 get a bit of an upgrade in Train Sim AP to rework some of their magic with it. I don't know how did this have a long wait at Wakefield? I'm not sure. Pretty sure they probably would have tried to get it all the way through pretty swiftly, I would have thought. Got interlock, that's fine. So yeah, I'd like to see some work done on the 800 now. Now they're IETs. Now they're coming in service, squadron service. It would be good to see it. I mean, this model was done before they were even out. I think Hitachi actually had DTG or RSC, I think it was at the time even, do one. There was an SET, the Super Express train beforehand, that was available. I had it in my old installer TS that was from Railworks days, well, Rail Simulator days. So I can't moan about the sounds too much. But having some decent sounds would be lovely for it. Maybe some extra functionality in the cab. Because it's actually quite a nice cab. I don't mind the IET cab. It's again, Hitachi do something quite nice with cabs. 395 cab as well, I like. I like the way they've gone back to sort of the black, instead of the weird sort of grey, or even some trains have blue, which I did like as well, the blue on the APT. I think some of the Pacers had a blue as well, didn't they? It's weird how things go through trends, isn't it? It's like, if you're into flight sims and all that sort of thing, you get very used to the colours things are. Like, Russian things tend to be that sort, I think they call it opal green. I think it's an opal green or something like that. And it's supposed to be good luck. So the interior of planes, trains, buses everything, tanks, this weird, like, washed out greeny colour. Is it opal green, jade green? I can't remember. And in the UK, we had the sort of black in the late 80s with the mainline stock, like the 90s and 91s. And then we went through sort of the grey era of cabs, with most second and third gen EMUs and DMUs for that matter. And if you go way back, we had blue cabs in things like the 309s, 310s, 312s. The 80 series AC locomotives had the blue as well. 50 had a blue cab. So this, I think nowadays it's probably done on glare of gauges and reflection and how the driver interprets the gauges and what stands out and what doesn't. But I wonder what it was back then. I wonder if it was the same thing. So a lot of modern locos, you have everything you need right in front of you, so you don't have to turn your head to see too much or anything for the running of the train. So you have your speed, your brake pressures, that sort of thing all in front of you. TPWS, AWS. It's in your field of view, basically. Oh no, a tunnel. Means I've got to use the god-awful horn. Speedo's off. I wonder if the Hitachi maintenance monitoring system, whatever it is, has picked up on that. To be fair, I don't know how, like, out speedos are these days. There used to be, I think it was a 3 mile an hour rule in British Rail days about speedo calibration, and there was in cars as well. I think with more solid state modern technology, that's probably a bit of a thing of the past, but I'm sure it's probably not. And considering we're still running a lot of stock that is as old as British Rail themselves, near enough, not a lot, but a few. I wonder if it still is a bit of an issue. What's the oldest thing we'll have on that's still used? 37s, 20s, maybe? I don't know if the 20s are used that much anymore. I think it was I did see one at one of the London Underground depots. But I think they're not the DRS ones. They're not they're mainline certified, but I suppose they're in traffic, really. We've got to wait outside Leeds by the looks of it. So it's still a little bit early. Oh, there's some track leads to sort out here. Now that's not going to clear my signal. If I remember right, it's a 91 that needs to come out of here. I had quite an odd incident here yesterday, I think, when I was recording this, that I will put up a video of, with me talking over it, to explain what happened. Nothing to do with the scenario, nothing to do with that, but it was one of the most real world, it's something real drivers face all the time, and I had it happen to me for probably the first time that it really happened to me in the way it had. So keep your eye out for a very short video of what that was. And we've got the road into Leeds. Fantastic. I do like the Leeds model in this, and I can't wait to see what VP do with it next. Because it'll be on their Manchester-Leeds route. And I wonder how much little extras it's going to have on it. Fantastic. I enjoyed that. Why are you people all in my way for a screenshot? I don't think it's going to look that good from here, is it? Oh, no, yeah, we could get... Alright then, guys. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Let's try and get to 9,000. I'd be very, very chuffed. Very, very chuffed. Heading over to Facebook for some tech support and all other little bits and pieces and a bit of a laugh. Heading over to Twitch on a Sunday from 7 and a Wednesday from 7 for more of an adult pub-themed talk about trains. And also heading over to thomsonsim.com for this scenario. I think it's out, or it will be by the time the video goes live. The route and the stock. So once again, guys, thanks ever so much, and I'll catch you next time.